Today's episode is brought to you by HelloFresh. For $20 off each your first 3 boxes for a total of $60 off, visit HelloFresh.com/BrainCandy60 and enter code BrainCandy60. Hello.
Oh, she's real serious today. Serious Susie.
I am not even.
Okay, good.
I am not serious at all.
Oh,
Welcome.
How you doing?
Welcome to the show, everyone.
Oh, you changed outfits.
I just took the top layer off.
Okay. I looked over and all of a sudden she was wearing a shirt that she was not wearing 2 seconds ago. What happened?
It's episode 260.
Wow,
already.
I like that number.
We just when we were doing the Challenge Mania Live, we discovered it's been 3 years since we started doing this. Nonsense.
That?
It's
Happy
insane.
anniversary. What is the third year anniversary gift?
Good
First year was paper.
question. Right.
Second year is question mark.
Right. Everything tapers off after that first year.
What?
Until like 25.
When do you get like gold? When do you get like...
That's 50, man.
Oh.
We are not...
Oh, who's making it to that?
If I am still doing this at 50, just take me to Mayview Hospital for the Infirmed or whatever they call it.
Oh, that's so funny.
That would be...
Oh, third year's leather. Second
That's
year's
so
cotton.
hot.
Well, you know what's kind of funny is like we got Brooklyn and sheets, so like this is an ad, but like that was for like our second year, and now
love
leather.
That. Bring it.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay,
I've got those
we'll
new
come up
leggings
with
that
that.
kind of look like leather, so like that kind of
Yes.
counts as like something we got that was
That
leather.
really is a step up from paper.
But you know what's so funny? We start on the topic of wedding gift or not like anniversary gifts because one of the stories I wanted to talk about or little pieces of news out there.
Yeah.
Is that the divorce rate is at like all-time low since 1970.
I read that. The
Isn't that amazing?
millennials.
I'm so excited. Like,
Are you?
Yeah, it's predicted that anyone who got married in the 2000s and beyond, 2/3 of them will stay married.
And do you know why?
Well, the majority of the people who are staying married for longer are college graduates.
Right.
And they say it has to do with women getting to choose and be more selective of who they choose to marry.
Well, and people waiting until they're friggin' ready.
Right. Because, like, getting married at 18, making any decision at 8. The tattoos I got at 18 were a bad decision. You think the man that I would want to marry at 18? I didn't even want to marry a man at 18. So.
That's so true. Right.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to marrying a woman today, but still, I'm just saying.
Right. Who are you at 18? It is not who you're going to be.
Yeah.
Like when...
oh, my God. Thank God for that, though, right?
Thank God. But unfortunately, some of us had it documented forever, so then people think that's who you are forever.
Oh, you're right.
You know?
Suze, you got an uphill battle to fight with that, with really like
Even
being
from 18 to 24, which at that time was the upper end of how old you could be, is a lifetime.
A lifetime.
6 years.
Yeah. And you were one who got very typecast as they put you in a box, you know?
Yeah.
So that must have been a challenge to really be anything different than that, right?
Well, and I don't know whether Cyrus is telling the truth ever,
Yeah.
but when we were at the Challenge Mania thing, he said that Netflix was going to start airing all the original Real Worlds and Road Rules. That's what he says. And I was just like, no.
He also claimed to drink a bottle of vodka
a day.
a day when he's like in the party mode. But not all the time, just when he's in party mode.
I mean, but he did say he was in party mode several days a week.
Okay, wow.
He was just like, but I didn't drink yesterday. And I was like, for me, whenever someone says they didn't drink yesterday, then you know they are normally killing alcohol. But, yeah, so I don't know whether that's true, but like I just thought, dang, it's not the same as like the Brady Bunch that never goes away because those are characters.
Oh my gosh, Susie, you're right. Because this brings up, it's like churning up the muck that's like settled already for some people at the bottom of their deep, dark lake.
Yeah.
And now this is like, hey, remember that one time you were an idiot when you were younger and we caught it on camera? And doesn't matter now that you are, the head of the HR department at whatever company you work for. And, there wasn't social media when you were on there, but now we're going to talk about it again.
Yeah.
That would not be. And think about just how much culture, how much society, like things have changed in what you say and what's okay to say and what's not okay. And, I don't know.
I don't like it. I don't think it's right. And I find it exploitative because when we signed that stuff, there was not, at least for me, a Netflix. There wasn't even barely an email.
Right.
So
God,
for you to foresee, and in 20 years, they're going to keep airing it in perpetuity.
Could you imagine if that, that seems like something you'd really have to forewarn the participants about. Hey, when you're married and you have children and you go to PTA meetings, we might air the time you made out with 3 other chicks in a hot tub.
Right.
And then you're scrolling through Netflix and that comes, no. I just feel bad.
I want a divorce from that.
Right.
That's what I want a divorce from.
Oh my gosh, I'm feeling my heart rate go up just thinking about it.
I am encouraged, though, by the news that people are getting married to who they're meant to be with and staying married.
Yeah.
That's a good sign.
And they called them, it said, they didn't explain what this was, but I can, guess. They said people are having more, quote, love marriages.
They didn't explain that.
Yeah, they were like, that's one of those things they just write and we're like, okay with it. We're like, okay, well, I imagine that the opposite is loveless marriages. So isn't that why they get divorced anyway? Like,
do you think it's possible that the other reason is that there's more forgiveness or allowing people to like bang outside of the
maybe?
Because I do see more of that now.
Maybe a broadening or of the definition of marriage or what marriage looks like. I think in our clinical work, we really try to say that the rules that apply to one marriage don't necessarily apply to another or like to all of them.
Yeah.
And you kind of get to define what works for you as a couple and, as long as everybody's happy and healthy and all following the same, expectations, then, who's to say?
Who is to say?
Not go out there and bang. What ifs? I swear I grew up next to, like, the house. When we were in high school and we moved to Orange County, the house next door to ours, I'm 99% sure they were swingers.
Oh, what tipped you off?
Husband and wife, like, they look like the exact people you'd think were swingers. Like, she was a very busty lady with, like, bleach blonde hair down to her, like, waist. And he was, what?
You're describing me.
Oh, you're right. No, but this is it's different. She's like, oh gosh, I'm trying to like think of a
like Hulk Hogan's wife.
Yes.
That type.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Totally. And he was a very slender man. It was almost like out of the nursery rhymes, where he was like a skinny guy, bald with a goatee, and he drove a convertible, like a red convertible, and no kids. And they lived in this, they made good money and lived in a nice house. And about once a month at nighttime, the porch light was red instead of white. And I was like, I wonder why it's red tonight. And it would be like on a Friday night or Saturday night or something. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's probably what they're doing. Like the sheer curtains over the... Like, yeah. I've never been in their house.
When I was getting a divorce, I lived with my Les's Kelly and Heather. Mm-hmm. And for Christmas, they had put out a red bulb to be festive.
Yeah.
And not knowing or thinking about the implications. And we had weirdness. Like,
okay, so it's a thing.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was I was like 15 at the time, but I could figure it out.
We figured it out real quick, too.
So what happened?
Just people start lingering, cars start pulling up. Yes, because it must be a sign of like, welcome. Red light special. We were not given it, but they thought we were. And plus, it's like three ladies. I'm sure it looked...
Oh, my goodness.
real interesting.
That's so funny.
Yeah, but I had never heard that outside of, like, the red light district.
Yeah, same. I didn't either. I was like, okay, I bet that's what they're...
Did you see people coming and going?
I don't have a memory of it, but I can only imagine why is because I this wasn't a time where like I had my own car and I was like coming and going from the house at the time where they would be. Like I was either inside or like not home at the time when they would have people over. Or, I just didn't see the comings and going.
But there was evidence.
Didn't want to see the comings, if you know what I mean. Hi-oh.
Wow. I mean, think
would
that's
you ever?
more common. No, I'm not.
Would you ever
into
even
that.
go to like one of those like clubs or something?
No interest in that.
Yeah, I think I would. I think I would go. Not to like swing. I wouldn't do that, but I would like. Yeah, I think I would be like into just watching.
You know what though? You're a beautiful woman, and there wouldn't be just watching. Like people would want to be involved.
That's it. It's like I want to be like anonymous, and if you want to be anonymous, you might as well just watch porn. So
that's why, like when John Ronson did the Butterfly Effect and his podcast where he looked into like the porn industry, it was cool because no one's going to mistake John Ronson for being interested or wanting whatever you're offering, and so he could do it. But if we went,
no, you're right. It's weird. Yeah,
it's weird.
Well,
yeah, we can
it's
only
harder
be
to create
voyeurs.
boundaries for us.
Yeah.
And for people to respect them.
I can't imagine what kind of people go, but I mean, I wish them all the best.
Probably ones who are looking like my neighbors.
I mean, probably.
Yeah.
I guess they come in all types, though.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Whatever floats your boat.
I mean, Sarah has some vivid memories of these times in her neighborhood, but maybe she has some of them on VHS and she wants to get them digitized.
What if?
And if she does, she should use Legacy Box. I know most of you guys, especially if you're our age, grew up with various forms of media that are no longer compatible.
We went, like, through all of them, every single one.
Right, they were quick moving during those years.
Yeah. They're like, oh, we really can't figure this out.
Yeah, and so if you have, a VHS collection or even hard copies of photos that you want to get digitized, Legacy Box is such a great solution. You can save your family films or your wedding video or whatever, and it gives you peace of mind, and your family history is preserved forever, and you can watch them more readily, too. That's the thing. A lot of them are just collecting dust. They're the world's largest, most trusted digitizer of home movies and photos, and there's never been a better time to digitally preserve your memories. Visit legacybox.com today to get started. And plus, for a limited time, they're offering our listeners an exclusive discount. Go to legacybox.com/brain to get 40% off your first order or save up to $200 on the largest Legacy Box kit. Go to legacybox.com/brain and save 40% today. Get started preserving your past.
Perfect holiday gift.
That's a good point. I recommend that.
The best. I mean, just do it right now, and then you'll be done with Christmas shopping or whatever shopping you do.
All right. Sometimes I'll write these notes down and then I'll skip over it because I don't have more details. But I did read an article about showering around the world.
Oh.
And now I wish I would have written it down. I think the reason I didn't, it was in the Atlantic, was that the point was it's just different.
Yeah.
Like some countries, I think we agree. Like, have you ever been to Europe and thought, why does everyone stink?
Oh, it's like comes out like somebody spitting on you. Like, come on, I'm gonna need more water than that. It's dripping.
What are you?
When you take a shower, the water pressure's terrible. It's like no water pressure.
Even when I have no idea what you're talking about, it's hilarious to me.
I've stayed at those hostels where like the plumbing's from like a million years ago, and you're like, it takes forever to get even just a lather.
But I was wondering, like when you're in, for example, when I've been in France, I mean, there is a lot of BO.
I always thought that was because of the deodorant and them not allowing or having more like stricter guidelines on aluminum and those kind of things in the deodorant.
Is that true?
So that the deodorant is more of it's not an antiperspirant, it's a deodorant, so it doesn't block as much of the odors.
Is that true?
I mean, that's my theory. I
thought they just didn't really believe in it. Like they were just au naturel.
Yeah. Well, I say this is because when Landon and I were in Italy, when we lost our luggage, we went to go get deodorant, and Landon had a hard time finding one that wasn't just
deodorant.
And the only one he found was a aerosol spray.
Really?
Yep. that had like this, and I was like, well, see, this is why I don't use it.
I wonder then if it's the law or if it's just the cultural thing.
It's cultural because I looked it up because I argued with Landon this. I was like, it's because they don't allow it over here. And he's like, don't allow. He did what you did. He's like, don't allow it like a law or like it's just people just prefer without it. It's the latter, and the consumer. It is like more regulated and is. Like they do have those different guidelines, and they do say that like we don't recommend this being in the product, but there's not a like this is against the law rule that says it can't.
Wow. Yeah. Well, let me just say that whatever they're doing, I notice it.
Yeah. Doing or not doing.
Yeah. And even when I did the extreme challenge, which was in part in England, France. Or no, Germany and Czech Republic. And I was like, damn, the Euro
the Czech Republic?
Yeah. And I was not into it. I don't like it.
It has something to do with what they eat, but it's not anything different than
I don't think so.
Yeah, no, you're probably right.
And I wonder do they not smell it? You know what I mean?
You wouldn't if you...
You would.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes when I take a shower, I'm in the shower... And all of a sudden, like I'll get my hair wet, and for the first time, I'll smell I'm like, oh, I stink, and I don't notice until I'm in the shower and like my hair's wet for some reason, and I'm like, I don't know.
Really?
It's like I can, until.
But you smell other people's body odor.
Yes.
And that's.
I guess it's our own. We kind of get.
Yeah, we like our own nose blind. You always think you smell when you don't, though. I tell you that all the time. Oh. You're like, I stink. And I'm like, no, you don't.
Well, I'm pretty good today, actually.
Okay. Ooh, there was a good article I read about why you should throw away your child's art.
Yes.
So good.
I got a lesson on that from the home edit. Like what you should and shouldn't keep.
What'd they say?
Yeah. That you should have boxes that are labeled like for the child and then for different like times in their life, and then hold it and for like storage. So like there's like a process of how the art moves through the house.
Really?
Yeah. So it's like it comes home, like appreciate whatever they made for a little while, and then you can determine like, is this something I should keep or is this something I should get rid of? And if it has their like handprint on it or anything that has like a reference to how small they once were or something like that, or like a memory like that, or it was something like, more than just here's what the teacher made and now you make it look just like that thing. Then you put it in the keepsake box, but you really have to be selective. And then you have like one for each kid and for, like different phases of their life, however you would decide that.
Yeah.
So like an elementary school box and a high school and above box, and that's it.
Right.
What did they say in the article?
It was just encouraging people to part with the artwork because they were arguing that it was about denying your own mortality, and that as long as you held on to this, you kind of were holding back on moving forward in your own life.
You and I briefly talked about this last time, but not on the show, but just how like, hey, we're going to maybe talk about this next time. And my mom came to visit, and so I mentioned it to her. And she just about had a heart attack with the idea. She was like, I would never. And I was like, Mom, where is all of our art? It's at my house,
right?
In my storage unit. Yeah. And she's like, but if I hold that and look at it, I will remember the day that you... And she told me the whole memory right there. And I was like, so with my stuff up in the storage unit, you don't need that to tell me that, show her that memory existed inside of her head without needing to hold the thing. And it was just more of an emotional attachment to like, I don't know, whatever it is. But, I tried to show her that, and she was still like, no, I'm keeping all of it. Keeping it, but I'm keeping it, really.
Do you think she keeps too much of it? Because I think some things are lovely to keep, but...
No, some of them are nice. Like I'm glad I didn't throw things away. I have a box, a little tiny Chinese takeout box that has every single note that I wrote. My friend Chris and Heather, we did a note exchange.
Yeah.
And so like we would write something and pass it to the other person. They'd answer. People don't freaking do this because there's text messaging, and it was so adorable. Ugh, man, I hate smartphones. So yeah, I have every single one from my junior high, career.
Yeah.
And it's just the cutest to have. And they're all like folded up in like cute little shapes and like a little football shape or origami. And that's like real special to have. And I'm glad I didn't toss that.
Yeah. Well, the article also went on to say the, even adult coloring books, they kind of took issue with.
Yeah, definitely get rid of those.
Yeah. Do you think people should utilize that as a soothing coping mechanism? Or
if it works I think anything that works for somebody as a soothing coping technique is good, as long as it's in the category of like, this is healthy and this helps you and this creates, it like creates happy feelings, you know, and doesn't do anything that's harmful. I think with that, what you're really trying to get to is a place of kind of what like mindfulness does. Is you're in the flow really, and you're getting to a place where you can kind of deactivate the parts of your brain that where like worry and anxiety and all that kind of live. Yeah. And get more into the present and in the moment. And mindfulness is just like the most important thing that we should all be doing. And I'm excited to see it being introduced in ways. And I think the adult coloring books are kind of like a gateway drug to mindfulness. Method. Yeah.
And they do give you happy feelings, as do my brand new Beta brand dress pant yoga pants. Yes. I got a new pair. Oh. They're herringbone.
Oh my gosh.
So
perfect
cool.
for fall.
Perfect for fall. I also got high-waisted ones that are like sailor style, you know, with the buttons.
Oh my gosh, with the buttons.
Yeah.
That is so your style.
So my style. Love them. And they are the most comfortable pants you'll ever wear to work. If you want to look cute, but for real feel like you're wearing yoga pants, then Beta brand dress pant yoga pants are perfect for you. They have boot cut, straight leg, crop, leggings, whatever you want. They have limited edition colors, all different shapes and sizes. They feel great and they look really nice professionally, and if you're going out for a nice dinner. And that's why I started wearing Beta brand dress pant yoga pants. If you visit betabrand.com and use our code BRAINCANDY to get 20% off yours, you will be so happy. And millions of women agree they're the most comfortable pants you're going to wear to work. That's betabrand.com, betabrand.com. And then use our code BRAINCANDY and you'll get 20% off your dress pant yoga pants. Mm-hmm. So nice for work. By the way, when I was reading about the sort of art and the coloring books and whatever, and I started laughing about those things that women go to, those paint nights. We went to one. Oh my gosh. I am so not into them. I am
so not into them either. And after going to one, I was like, I felt guilty for subjecting my friends to that.
We had a blast.
I know. The best part is that, you know, I have the kind of friends who are like totally going to take it and make it their own. Yeah. You know, but the kind of women who were there with us.
I do think a lot of women get into it.
I think it's because of where we live too. I think it has more to do with that what I didn't like about it.
I guess what people, because you can go to we did it at like a wine night at your country club, but a lot of people go to these studios, and it is nice to go out with your girlfriends, have a glass of wine or whatever, and like do something creative. Yeah. So I'm not dissing that.
All that is good.
I could do without the pictures they take after and then post on Facebook, and don't acknowledge how crappy their paintings are.
Well, here's the thing, is that I think I'm torn now. Because I really think it's important for people to get the opportunity to create something and be proud of it and make it and feel for a second like, and sometimes people who go to that, you know, are dragged by their friends, like how I drag my friends, and they're like, you have those friends who are like, I'm not an artist, like this is not for me, I can't do any of this, like I don't even draw a stick figure, and then by the time they're done, they're like, oh my gosh, look at what I did that's so much better than anything that I thought I could do. Yeah. And I think they can apply that same joy and that same, I don't know, emotional payoff that they got from doing that to like carry that sense of self-worth over into the other parts of their life. Maybe that's just like the optimistic therapist in me.
It's nice, but it, you know, it's still silly.
I'm like, my biggest problem are the instructors.
Totally.
I'm like, I feel like I could take their job, first of all. And then I'm like, unless you're Bob Ross, can it? I would have rather just have it. Don't talk.
I would rather have it be a little more free play where you don't all have to make the same.
Well, if I remember correctly, that's what you did. Well, this is great because I'm going to get an opportunity to post these pictures again. I'm so excited. We said we were going to auction off one of them.
Do you still have it?
Of course I do.
We should then.
I hope I still have it. I went through a purging phase a little bit ago, so if I definitely have a photo. I mean, there was a portrait of Johnny Bananas on there that somebody did. I don't know if you did it or that was you. Susie's got her finger in the air
that was me.
I feel like my friend Mariana, she went.
No, I was the only one that went rogue.
Are you sure?
That I know of, yeah.
Okay.
They were not taking it seriously, but they were at least following what the instructors.
Yeah. I'm getting pen all over myself. What am I doing over here?
Hold on. You want to clean it up?
Yeah.
You okay now?
Yep. All good.
What do you think happened there?
I don't know. Sometimes when you're a lefty, pens are a real problem.
Oh, right. It's a messy situation.
User
error. But, I'm sure a lot of our listeners have done these paint nights and maybe have the picture. Maybe they're really good and then it looked great and then they could frame it or something.
But, I've
never seen one, though. Never seen one that was
I think, I'm not the worst painter. And I felt like mine was not that bad.
But would you frame it?
No, not in a million years. Because it wasn't the style that I would want to...
Yeah, it was seaside.
Do.
Yeah.
And it felt like a paint by numbers or something like that. When I was an after-school art teacher for elementary schools, I had a parent who wrote to me once and told me that nothing that her child had created at art camp was refrigerator worthy and wanted more of those paint what the teacher paints basically it was asking me for a paint night type painting.
You're kidding me.
Meanwhile, I had the kindergartners who came back and did the camp again the next year as first graders, and one of the little ones comes up to me and goes, Miss Sarah, are we going to do pointillism again this year? And I was like, okay, see, that's why. It doesn't matter what that looks like. It matters that she knows what pointillism is. Mm-hmm. And, I'm teaching a lesson here. And let me tell you, I gave him a long email.
Can you imagine?
Let me tell you what, first of all, I probably did start with first of all, but any art that your child creates is refrigerator worthy. Anything that your child makes should be worthy of the refrigerator.
Yeah, the refrigerator.
And if that's the message you're getting at home of
right.
Could you imagine? No, this doesn't deserve to go up there. You should make me something that's better.
Man, wonder what's on her fridge.
Right. And I think she was a teacher too, which is the scariest part.
Oh my God.
Yeah, or she was somehow involved in the school too. So I had to tell her, this is the point of this is that I'm teaching, techniques and styles, and there's a whole, lesson that goes with it, and we talk about everything, blah, 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 this whole thing.
You're reminding me, in the Brain Candy Crush, there was a conversation about a meme that was posted in a different group of, a lady with a coffee, and she was saying, about the 22-year-old that bebops into Starbucks and, wants to skip the line, and get her coffee first. Mm-hmm. And the mom was like, I've been up all night with whatever and whatever. It was kind of pitting the young woman that wants the coffee against the mom who deserves the coffee. Uh-huh. And they posted it in the Brain Candy Crush to say, I'm sick of this sort of mommy entitlement where it's your pain is bigger than the young person's pain.
Yeah. But I feel like that's probably spoken by young people and
or maybe people without kids who are
kids.
sick of that, reasoning of my life is so hard because I have kids and you don't.
I want to explore that with them. Why does that bother you so much?
Oh, so whose side are you on? The mamas?
Moms. I'm not on the side of the people who brought that up and was like, I'm so sick and tired of this.
Oh my God.
Because I feel like those people probably have an outlet to complain about whatever it is they want to complain about. Mm. And I think everybody deserves that it's fine to say, isn't this freaking hard?
I think everyone was
Isn't
in
this
agreement
tough?
that like everyone knew that the post was made in good fun and like
Yeah.
wasn't malicious or
Yeah.
anything like that. But it struck a nerve with them of like, why do moms always act like their life is more difficult than everyone else's?
I do see this with like a lot of the t-shirts and a lot of the, especially with things that are wine related, where it's like mommy's juice or whatever, implying that being a mom is so hard that I have to resort to alcohol, which I have a problem with anyway, because
For a
that's
variety
like
of
for so
reasons.
many reasons,
Yeah.
where it's like that's sending a weird message.
But that too, I think, is made in good fun.
Yeah.
Not,
Yes,
you
of
know.
course. But it speaks. There are things that you kind of have to look at in there, and maybe if women haven't been given the appreciation that they deserve or the credit they deserve for the hard work that's being done, it's almost like they need to push back in a way of saying like, yeah, we're freaking exhausted and we have to scream it from the mountaintops because, you know, my husband who's like taking lunch breaks and going on like work dinners, they're saying, oh man, isn't it so difficult for the businessman who's always gone and da 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 da. Well, look at me, nobody's appreciating me over here. So I think it's a response maybe to that.
I mean,
So now I see both sides.
we always end up in that
Always,
place.
yeah.
But I do see the point because making dinner is tough and just going to the grocery store to get the groceries is tough.
I'm over it.
So that's why we recommend HelloFresh.
Mine is coming on Monday.
We we love HelloFresh. We make it as a family in this home, and we love to try the different recipes. Lincoln loves to cook with me and his dad, and there's a selection you can choose from: classic, veggie, or family. And they send these kits. You make the recipe, you make the meal, which Sarah likes to like then redo, which is fun.
Yeah.
You can try it later on your own. It's simple, it's convenient, it's delivered right to your door. You know when it's coming, you can change it, pause it, whatever. And it's just easy to manage. And that's what makes it nice for a mom or for a non-mom, whoever's busy. For $20 off each your first 3 boxes, so you get a total of $60 off. Visit HelloFresh.com/BrainCandy60 and enter promo code BrainCandy60. So that's again $20 off each your first 3 boxes for a total of $60 off. Visit HelloFresh.com/BrainCandy60 and enter BrainCandy60, which is nice.
Speaking of food,
Yeah.
I got a crazy story for you.
Okay.
And I felt like this was perfect for you
Okay.
because I know how much you love spicy foods.
Yes.
Okay. So,
Go on.
yeah. I heard this story. Well,
Okay.
read this story.
Okay.
This man ate a Carolina red pepper, aka
Oh, yeah.
the Carolina Reaper,
Yeah.
hospitalized with something called Thunderclap headaches that were the first of its kind to ever be reported after eating something hot.
Yes.
This guy, they said it could cause a stroke.
Yeah.
Holy crud.
Yes.
I was like, somebody tell Susie, tell her to stay away from those hot peppers. Because listen, people out there, brainiacs, no one can eat spicy foods like my co-host Susie Meister.
That's
You have
my gift.
Never seen it. We went to the Orange County Fair, and there was this like, I don't know, like, what would you call that?
That was
It
just
was
like
like
a
a
pepper
vegetable
stand.
garden. Yeah, like
Yeah.
a pepper stand. And they were like, this one's the hottest. And Susie was like, yeah, I'll take it. And I took a bite. She didn't even flinch, people. Landon was like, oh, I like spicy foods. I'll do it. He bit into it. He was dying.
He got the sweats.
Totally. You guys were like, here, you should try it. Like, you're out of your mind. I smelt it. My eyes started watering. She like downed it. No problemo. So stay away from the Carolina Reaper because this jalapeno measures like this pepper. A regular jalapeno measures at 10,000 Scovilles.
Yeah.
This one, 1.6 million.
Wow.
Million. He said as soon as he ate it, he started getting neck cramps.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And he had this headache or a series of headaches that lasted over several days, sending him to the hospital, and it was a narrowing of the arteries in his brain.
That's what I'm wondering if I'm suffering with because I have this
Oh my
migraine.
God. No. Have you been eating a lot of spicy
Adam
foods?
said, he's like, you have been eating a lot of spicy food, like maybe because we're growing these really hot peppers.
I mean, they are so spicy. You just ate them for lunch.
I know, I love them.
For goodness sake, Susie.
I'm like an addict.
This may be like, I don't know, some sort of like divine intervention that I came across this article today. Because
it's possible, I suppose. But I wonder what is characteristic of the Thunderclap headache.
it's that it feels like your head's in a vice, but only for a minute. And then it releases.
Like contractions.
Yeah, it's like that. God. So it's almost like the narrowing of those, arteries really causes a lot of tension. And I mean, because you're cutting off the blood supply to the brain, and then it releases, and you get that real quick rush, which is what they say could cause the stroke.
Right. That is scary to me.
Yeah.
But then why do they keep growing these peppers if they're so dangerous?
What are you using them for?
Because they find the hottest seed.
Oh my God! Stop.
The hottest
Everybody, stop doing that.
And then they plant them, and then obviously they can keep getting hotter, so that scale keeps getting, more intense.
1.6 million. I mean, for goodness sake, I don't even know the math on that. What's 1.6 million divided by 10,000? Like what percentage of? I can do that math real quick on a calculator. On my abacus.
But I have read that heat, like that kind of pepper heat, food heat is the most it's the easiest thing for your body to get used to in terms of like pain tolerance.
Yes.
It only takes 10 days.
Wow.
And then
it's crazy.
So you can keep getting hotter and hotter and hotter, and so obviously my tolerance is really high.
Yes.
At this point.
It's 160 times the heat
like
of a jalapeno.
Of a jalapeno.
Which can be kind of spicy to me.
Yeah, some of them are very spicy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, well, I won't have any of the Reapers.
Yeah, you definitely should not do that.
I'll keep my hands off of those guys.
Yeah.
Do you want me to talk about... Well, we all know this is true, that they say that buying experiences, not things, is sort
Favorite.
of... Yes. I read an article, though, that kind of did a deep dive into that.
I love a deep dive.
And it was really interesting. Like, it was talking about how... this was a quote I wrote down. The mind wanders to dark places without something to remember or look forward to. And I thought
the mind wanders to dark places without something to remember or something to look forward to.
So that's what
you know what? Absolutely, it does.
Yeah.
You know what this reminds me of is the man who mistook his wife for a hat by something Sachs. The neuropsychologist who studied memory loss and a bunch of other bizarre, neurological phenomenon. And the saddest people that he met were the ones that could not remember the past or didn't have any, like you lose your identity, you lose your sense of self, and they were really, really depressed. So I bet that is a little bit of that.
Yeah. And so it was saying if you were to buy an experience, be it concert tickets or a vacation, you get joy planning it.
Yes.
You get joy anticipating it.
Yes.
You get joy when you're enjoying it at the concert or on your vacation, and then remembering it.
One of the techniques we use for people or encourage people who are, want to increase their happiness is to plan a trip but not even take it. We prescribe the planning process.
Interesting.
Because there's so much wonderful feelings and positive experiences and good emotions.
Where do we want to go?
Yep,
what do we want to do?
From that.
Yeah.
Forecasting. It's because envisioning your ideal future self is one of the 3 things that leads to happiness that have been scientifically proven.
That makes me really happy just knowing that.
Yeah.
And it was saying that whenever you buy something, let's say you order something online, the anticipation of it coming isn't the same joy. It's impatience.
Oh, that's so good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that you have this sort of like, when is it going to get here? Which I know is true for myself.
It
I'm
is
like,
impatience.
Even if it's like Amazon 2-day Prime, you're like, where is it?
I
need
got a box
it.
from Express. I'm like, oh, I need to wear that shirt tomorrow. You better arrive. Yep.
And I thought that was interesting.
Wow. That makes it even more unhealthy then. Like, ugh.
And then also, it was talking about how when you're talking to somebody, people enjoy hearing like, oh, I went to this concert and they played my favorite Beach Boys song or whatever, and what was it like and all that. But they do not want to hear about, oh, I got a new car and here's the windows do this and it has a sunroof. No, people don't even want to hear about things.
However,
yeah,
I want to provide a counterpoint to that.
Okay.
I was driving in the car today, and I was thinking back to your birthday, and I was thinking about how part of your birthday present was a gift card, and I was thinking about how much joy it's weird that my mind went here, but I was like, man, what I would really love is to know what she got with the gift card. Like, it seems like something that we don't ever ask, or like feel like it's rude to ask or something. I don't know why we don't, but I was just thinking that for a second. I was like,
wonder what she picked.
I wonder what she got with that. I think I was thinking about, I don't know.
It's funny that you say that because since my birthday, I have bought tons of things, be it clothes or otherwise, but I'm saving the gift card because I want whatever I get with the gift card to be like a special thing for me.
Yes, good. Because I knew it would, and that's like what I said when I was like, get something you really like, and then you could get a discount on it. Which who doesn't love that?
Yeah, I'm saving it.
I'm
even
so
though
glad to
I've
hear
probably even shopped at that store.
Yep, I get that.
But I'm saving it
because then there's like the things that you're going to buy that this is almost like a treat thing.
Yeah,
I totally get that.
Yeah.
I've saved the same gift card like that.
And then they were also talking about how they did a study about it. You know how like sometimes people will camp out for like the new iPhone?
Oh my God, yes.
That type of thing. Well, when you're in line like that for an item, there's often reports of bad behavior. People get rude with each other. Yeah. But that is not what happens when you're in line for tickets.
I know why. Because you're all part of, it's like the collective effervescence thing when you go to a concert and you're all you're signed up to have a similar experience that then you're even sharing in the anticipation of the event for somebody, but you're in competition with the people who you are in line with to buy things because you're seeing them as somebody who can have it before you. I would imagine that's competition.
Well, and I think that they don't see it as like we're in this group.
They're
and
not.
It's just like we're getting a phone. Everyone has a phone.
Yeah.
It doesn't make us an in-group or a subculture. Whereas if you love Aerosmith,
right,
and the guy in front of you loves Aerosmith, and you're willing to camp out for tickets, you probably want to talk about it.
There was a Pixar movie, I can't remember which one, but I definitely stood in line to see the opening night of a Pixar movie.
Wow.
I had never had more fun standing in any line ever than with my fellow Pixar fans.
Tell me what happened.
It was in San Francisco. So what movie was it that came out while I was living in San Francisco?
I know it had to be one of the Toy Story ones.
It's not, because I only loved the first Toy Story, and all the other Toy Stories I was like hesitant to see because I thought it would tarnish my perfect image of the first one. So I was like, I don't know. I don't want to see the second. It might not be as good. And then I saw it. I was like, oh, that is good. But I think it was like Cars or something that wasn't as... Wall-E. It was Wall-E. Oh my God, it was so good. I did love that. But yeah, it was just like everybody was like me, and it's all like grown-ups, but who still have this like childlike sense of like wonder and magic and all that fun stuff that comes with the kind of like, it was a late night movie. It was probably like 10 o'clock. So, it's not kids who were there. They were all grown-ups or adults.
Right.
Grown-ups. That's funny what they call it. It's kind of like a kid thing to call myself. I'm a grown-up.
I mean, you don't have to wait in line for this, but I would. Poshmark.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have it right at your fingertips.
You don't have to wait in line.
Phone.
That's like the joy.
Mm-hmm. Like you can get really cool stuff. You don't even have to wait in line. Yes. Are you on Poshmark yet? Yes, you should be.
Should be. You could be buying stuff out of my store.
You could be buying Sarah's used pants.
Well, you can buy my used challenge stuff because I'm going to be listing some challenge memorabilia on there.
Are you really?
This week.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I told somebody at the Challenge Mania event who missed out on the opportunity to get a jersey that I would relist those just for them.
Wow. Okay.
So.
Well, Poshmark is fun whether you're buying weird challenge stuff or if you like Louis Vuitton or Gap or J. Crew or whatever your kind of clothes and stuff you're into, they have on there. People list things that they either got that they don't wear or things they've gently used, and you can buy them super cheap, and you can make offers, see if people accept your offer, or you can list your own stuff, clean out your own closet. Which is what I enjoy doing. And so if you go to Poshmark.com or like download the app and use our referral code, it is Sarah's closet name. It's I'm Sarah Rice. And you'll get $5 towards your first purchase. Or you can check out my closet as well. It's just Susie Meister. But if you use that referral code, I'm Sarah Rice, you'll get $5. So go on there, find us, check our closets out, and, just see what else you find. You're real cute, though, with that Wally thing.
I think it was such a... I mean, it's just so cool that a movie that has no talking in it for the first hour almost can keep the attention of a 4-year-old the whole way.
True.
Impressively.
That's true.
They are glued to that TV screen. I love it. Or movie screen, whatever.
All right. Did you hear about this guy? He's a professor. Mm-hmm. And he was getting a divorce, and he decided he's a professor of like environmental studies. Okay. And he decided he wanted to really push the envelope on the how to live with zero carbon footprint, be the most environmentally friendly human being.
Is this what led to the divorce?
I bet it didn't help. He went minimalist. And, you hear a lot about like tiny home and all that stuff. Yeah. I mean, this guy took it next level.
What are we doing now?
I forget what campus he works on, but he is living in a dumpster. And
for Pete's sake.
And he started out...
that's such a white privilegey thing, too. That, like, I have so much privilege that I'm going to choose to live like those without any... Like come on.
Yeah. Well...
We all should be so lucky that we would get to... our life would be better if I just lived in a dumpster. That's really to fix it.
He sold all his stuff, basically. Uh-huh. And he... started out with
This is a white guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He...
Just clarifying.
Right. What if it wasn't?
Right. I'm like, uh-oh.
Okay. He started out living in this basic dumpster and on a piece of cardboard as his bed. Mm-hmm. And then slowly, over time, he tried to decide, like, what is the most efficient way to live. And he slowly added things. Mm-hmm. So now it looks pretty cute in there, but I mean, it is so small. Mm-hmm.
Now, okay. This isn't a dumpster that was like full, and he's like, that one, because it's like behind the school. Or is it one of those, he's living in because I have seen empty. The storage containers.
It's not
It's
that.
Definitely a dumpster. We
definitely
know that.
A dumpster. But it does not have garbage in it.
Doesn't have garbage. Did it ever hold garbage, or did he get a like
that? They didn't say, but
off the rack.
I don't
dumpster.
I don't. Right, off the rack.
I don't know. Where do you sell them? Do they come on racks? Is it a shelf?
What I will say is, I know it's in Texas, and so it was very hot. So even at night, it would only go down to 85, like at mid, when it's coolest.
That could be good in some places.
And yeah.
But it might go the other way too. Metal, whether it's hot or cold, is going to...
It's a nightmare.
Yes, be bad.
So, that was one of the first things he knew that he had to get was some sort of insulation. Temperature control.
Okay, got it.
It still is hot in there, but he got something to regulate the air somewhat. And it's fascinating to look at. I'll put it in the newsletter so you can see, because he has... like a false bottom, so underneath the boards is where he keeps like his 7 pieces of clothing.
This happened. He got divorced and then he did this. Okay, this doesn't surprise me now.
Well, but it is what he studies.
I understand that, but I see what this is.
What, Sarah? You're so cynical today.
I'm not. I just we can't just look at it as this is an environmental studies professor who's trying to make there's more to it. Like,
why?
I think maybe it's because this is what I'm like training to do as a therapist, or like look at the relationships and look at how, because I see this as kind of like a desperate act in a way. I do. I really do. I watched an episode recently of, it was something on Netflix about like incredible interiors, but it had this guy who either just went through a breakup or just went through a divorce, whose dream it was he wanted to live inside of a shipping container inside of a garage that housed all of his cars that he loved. Mm-hmm. And I could just see that, as they were doing this reality show, that all the guys are like, yeah, you're living in the garage with your cars. And inside I was like, oh, he's really sad that you're creating a space that does not allow for any other human to exist in there with you, because somebody has hurt you so much that now you have to shut everybody out and create a living space for yourself that could barely even fits you and your 7 things, let alone another person. And the saddest thing, like, he's cutting off, like, that's an act of almost like isolation and withdrawal, I think.
Okay, I mean, yeah, nobody is in a vacuum, so the context of our lives informs the choices we make. And I'm sure that when you get divorced, a lot of people go through that thing where they're like wanting a clean slate.
Yeah.
But if you are going to do it, at least have a broader point, because he wants to address the fact that all over the world people don't have shelter. He thinks that if we can make super cheap options for people, then they can make these spaces that they can live in, which is a cool idea.
Yeah, I agree with all that. I just think he's saying those things and avoiding
maybe just
emotions.
In the article.
Yeah, right, totally.
I mean, he's not going to tell the Atlantic.
Of course. But I would be curious to follow up with him 3 years later and see check in on his loneliness and his depression. And
I will say one thing that he did refer to about the loneliness was that because it was so freaking hot in the dumpster during the day, he had to just walk around, and he found that he met people and met a much wider group of people. And even he said using a laundromat, that he felt that this way of living could help us connect again with other humans, which is what we're not doing.
So he mentioned a need for connection even in the article.
Yeah, not just for him, but for all of us who are like me. Mm-hmm. I barely ever leave my house, and I'm on my phone all the time. You're on the internet, and you're not actually talking to that many real people. And so I thought that was cool. But I'm not going to live in a dumpster.
Right.
But I thought it was interesting. And they did have a videos, or maybe it was more like slides of like the progression of the dumpster and what he added to it and how he set it up.
I think it's really cool. I think it's like a really good, statement, and like, cause, and everything that he's talking about is legit. Mm-hmm. I just see a little bit of the human suffering in there,
I mean, maybe he's not suffering.
I think he's got some sadness in his heart. I do.
Don't we all?
Yeah, I think divorce. Yeah, I think that that's not a coincidence.
She really killed this story for me.
Sorry, I mean, yay.
But, I mean, if you don't leave your house, the perfect solution if you're going to ship stuff is stamps.com.
There you go.
I know that much for sure, and I'm not sad inside.
Makes you happy.
Right. I feel great about
the opposite.
If you are a person that sends letters, packages, if you have an Etsy store, if you sell things on Poshmark or eBay, then this is a great option for you. Stamps.com allows you to start an account in minutes online with no equipment, and then you can print all your postage right from your desk, and it's for any size package or anything, and it's super easy. They'll send you the digital scale, and it calculates your exact postage, and that way you never have to leave. You never have to go out to ship anything. The mail carrier will pick it up right from your house, and that's why I use Stamps.com. It's so easy. And right now you can do it too. Enjoy the Stamps.com service with a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus postage and a digital scale. Go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage, and type in Brain Candy. That's Stamps.com, and enter Brain Candy.
How much time? Do we have time for more stories?
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness.
What do you got?
Do you want to hear about, I'll give you an option because I love doing this. Do you want to hear about a medical condition that can be cured by roller coasters? Or would you like to hear about why goats are being airlifted out of national parks?
Oh my God.
Via helicopter.
That is such a hard choice.
What are you going to do?
I'll do the roller coaster.
Okay. So, anecdotally, doctors were finding that from their patients who were complaining about kidney stones, that if they went on roller coasters, they were somehow relieved of their symptoms. And doctors were like, wow, you're hearing this? I'm hearing this? They've heard this enough for people to go, maybe we should research this. So that's just what they did. So people who are scientists who are researching this, did a print, like a 3D model, like an actual, you know how we can like print organs now? They did a 3D printed organ, kidney, put it in a backpack, put kidney stones in different places. They ran this test multiple times and sent it down Big Thunder Mountain Railroad.
Shut
at Disneyland.
up.
I kid you not. With incredibly positive results.
Get out.
Not only is it like successful, but it's like more successful than a lot of the medical treatments they have for.
Okay, what do you know about it?
Oh my gosh, it's really interesting. So they were finding that it didn't really matter where the size of how big it was or where it was in the kidney, that it would pass about 65% of the time. Or I should say that the only thing that did matter was the placement of where they sat on the roller coaster. So if you sat in the back seat, 65% of the kidney stones would dissolve and pass. If you sat in the front seat, only 17%.
This is
would.
insane. Oh my
cool?
God. Oh my God. I'm so into
seat
this.
assignment was the only thing that mattered, not the size, not the...
What?
So if you have a kidney stone, step number 1, Six Flags, Magic Mountain.
Okay.
Or where's your favorite wood? Something
Kennywood.
Something wood.
So do you think that it's after one ride on it? Do you think?
You know, that's a good question. I think it is after one. I think it is after. I have this whole article on it, so we'll put this in the newsletter because this is. I was like, oh my God, I can't even believe what I am reading. So I think.
Well, did they say what they think is the reason?
Oh, let's see. I think it has something to do with just. It breaks them up into smaller particles. Like it says. They didn't really give a reason why. It just said that the preliminary study's findings support the anecdotal evidence that a ride on a moderately intense roller coaster could benefit some patients with kidney stones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Although it makes me think like nobody should be riding roller coasters aside from this.
That's a really
if
good
it can
point.
do that to kidney stones.
Oh my gosh.
Wonder what it is. The force, centrifugal force?
Yeah. Like really it says absolutely nothing else in this. This is from livescience.com, but it doesn't really say why. It just kind of gives the general findings. And
I am so into that story.
And I'm like, you chose Big Thunder Mountain Railroad? That's like not even that crazy of a roller coaster.
Well, they said moderately.
Yeah, maybe
intense.
They only did moderate. I wonder if it would be different if it were like...
Really
what
intense.
happens if you're like on one of those crazy ones?
Right, you just shit your pants.
I mean, I don't want to brag, but I did I did a commercial for Disneyland, and I rode Big Thunder Mountain Railroad in the back seat.
Sarah!
I was killing 2 birds with one stone.
Why do you do this to me?
2 birds with one stone. Oh, that's funny. Look what I did there. Actually, I was killing 2 stones with one roller coaster. No, kidding.
Why didn't you tell me you did a commercial for friggin' Disneyland?
When I was little, like my mom, when she was a wardrobe stylist, they would use us as extras all the time for things, and we would, pop in and out of commercials.
Go through that freaking woman's storage legacy box situation.
Right, and find out what I got in there. I swear I got my headshot somewhere.
It makes me sick that you have this stuff at your fingertips.
I don't even know. I mean, she kept my childhood art, but not like the reel from all my commercials. No, but I rode the back.
How many times did you ride it?
Oh my God, like 40.
No way.
Easily. The whole ride was shut down. It took all day long. And we were so bored. It was me and my brother. We were so freaking bored. Not the younger one because he was too little. He didn't meet height requirements.
Sarah.
And we were coming up. You couldn't even see us, like our faces in it. It was really just to make it look full. And, we were extras.
Yeah.
And so we were trying to invent, like, different ways to sit on the roller coaster. Like, maybe we could turn around backwards, like, breaking all the rules. I'm surprised nobody got their, like, hands taken off. We were like, okay, what if we try to sit backwards? With,
right.
We were not sitting how you should be sitting safely in a roller coaster. Because we were so freaking bored after 40. But, there are worse ways to be bored, I suppose.
You have lived quite a life.
Yeah, I really have.
I mean, for a lot of people, that would be their story forever.
Yeah, that is true. Once I was in a Disneyland commercial.
And you didn't tell me about it until our 3rd year anniversary.
That's true. And like our
show.
11th year of friendship.
Want to tell me about the goats, though, or you want to save that for next time? That sounded interesting, too. It's a tough choice.
Maybe I'll save it.
Yeah?
Maybe it'll be like a to be continued, like, teaser.
Okay.
Tease.
I feel like I just had a Carolina Reaper over here.
Yeah, you look like you got a real headache going.
It's not good.
Is this a
Clap?
Artery narrowing in the brain?
You know what? Oh, I'm starting to wonder.
Well,
thanks to you. What if going on roller coasters cured that?
Well, we better get our butts to a theme park.
What was the name? It's Thunder something.
Thunderclap headache.
And what's the name of the roller coaster?
Big Thunder Mountain Railroad.
This is crazy.
Too close to be a coincidence.
All right. Well, I guess we'll go.
Yeah.
If we have to.
Have to. I mean, we'll see you next week. Or actually in just a few days, probably.
I'm going to later today get Sarah wasted.
Okay.
And we're going to read through the reviews on iTunes.
Oh,
that's always fun.
I love playing that game.
I have been getting the meanest emails from people, by the way.
About what?
Like when we do ads and I do it in the middle of a story.
Yeah, well.
I got 2 people mad about that.
Oh, 2. Those 2 people.
But they were venomous. The one was venomous.
Yeah, well, they can can it.
I was just like, she said, your greed is not becoming of you, Rhonda.
Rhonda. They're at least cousins, her and Linda. They're somehow related.
It just bothers me because if I do that, which, by the way, I think was one time that in particular I remember doing that, it's because
you have to do it.
I have to time them properly, and it's not always convenient.
And listen, I listen to a bunch of podcasts, and they all do that, and that's listen, NPR, Wait, Don't Tell Me, all those.
It's
Serial.
never because I'm trying to like.
And ours are for better stuff that's actually good. I mean, look at my hair from that.
I know.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sponsored product.
#SP over here.
Yeah.
All right. Till next time.